Is the insanity defense really what media shows? Imagine a courtroom drama where a defendant claims they were crazy at the time of the crime and suddenly walks free. That's what many people think the insanity defense is all about. But the truth is quite different. The insanity defense in criminal law is a legal strategy used when a defendant admits to committing the act but argues they should not be held responsible because of a severe mental illness or defect. This mental issue must have impaired their ability to understand what they did or know that it was wrong. In real life, the rules for using the insanity defense are strict. Different places have different standards, but they all focus on whether the person lacked the mental capacity to understand their actions or to control their behavior. One common standard is called the monotone rule. It asks if the defendant knew what they were doing and if they knew it was wrong. Another standard, called the model penal code test, adds whether the person could conform their behavior to the law. So, it's not enough to just have a mental illness. The illness must have directly affected their responsibility at the time of the crime. Contrary to what you see on television, successful insanity defenses are very rare. When they do work, the result is usually not freedom. Instead, the person is often committed to a psychiatric hospital for treatment. This can sometimes mean staying there longer than they would have stayed in prison. Courts look closely at the defendant's mental state before, during, and after the crime. They also consider whether the person showed awareness of wrongdoing, like trying to hide evidence or run away. Such actions can weaken an insanity claim because they suggest the person knew what they were doing was wrong. The insanity defense is different from other legal concepts like diminished capacity, which can reduce charges but not eliminate guilt. It's also separate from competency to stand trial, which is about whether the defendant can participate in their own defense. The insanity defense is only used when there's strong psychiatric evidence that the defendant was profoundly mentally impaired at the time of the crime. Defense lawyers must carefully evaluate whether the defendant's mental condition meets the legal standards and prepare for the tough questions and evidence that come with this defense. So, the media's portrayal of the insanity defense as a quick way to get off the hook is not accurate. It's a complex, carefully scrutinized legal strategy that requires clear proof of a serious mental disorder affecting responsibility. It often results in psychiatric commitment rather than freedom, making it much more limited and precise than what movies and television suggest.